So I'm here with Kathrin Stirnemann, a podium contender, and obviously yesterday you placed second. But I want to talk to you a little bit about your history of bicycles and your time on the bike. So could you tell me, when did you first start riding, and where did your passion for bikes come from?
Well, I basically grew up with my bike. My dad taught me and my brother how to play with the bike, so every 3 minutes we went out to ride our bikes. We built jumps or slaloms or whatever, and all the other kids were just playing football or whatever. We were riding bikes since we were very little, and so when I was 5 years, I did my first kids race.
Oh, wow.
And I was on the podium, and I was competing against the boys. So
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah, I wanted to do more, and that's where it started. So yeah, my whole life was about racing bikes, and yeah, that's my big passion.
When you were growing up, were you mainly riding in the mountains, or where were you riding?
Well, mainly in hilly areas where I live. It's not mountains, it's just hills, and yeah.
But big hills, yes.
I don't know, if you compare it to the Netherlands or Belgium, they are big, but if you compare it to the Alps, they are not big.
Okay.
So
yeah.
So yeah, I think my profile of a rider is more of a punchy rider.
Mm-hmm.
Also because I grew up in a hilly area and not in the mountains. But what I always loved was like super difficult or tricky descents.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, that's also I think it was always my strength in the cross-country sport, the technical sections. And yeah, but also I really like to push in flat sections. I also did some time trialing in my last year of my active career.
Okay.
And yeah, so I like everything.
What age were you when you were like, right, I'm now professional, I'm competitively professional?
Yeah, I think when I was 16, I started to train with a trainer or with a coach, and yeah, from there on I was also competing in junior world champs, and then under 23 international races, and then elite. But I stopped working I finished my education 2012, and from there on I was 8 years. I was a professional mountain biker, mainly cross-country and cross-country eliminator. I also did some marathons and some road, but yeah, I don't know, I just loved the mix of performance and technical sections, and that's what cross-country brings the most. And also it's the Olympic discipline, so there are the big teams, the big brands, the medias were there. Of course it changed in the last years, but when I was at the point of making decisions, this was my direction.
How were you first introduced to electric bikes? What was your first experience?
I don't remember that well. I think we had a bike in the team. We used it in the pits for, I don't know, riding back to the hotel and stuff like this. And I was like, yeah, that's quite fun. And then someday all the team got an e-bike, and we had a ride really off-road. And I was like, wow, this is so much fun. So that's the moment where I started to like it. And then last year I decided to stop my active career as a cross-country rider. And so I did the world champs in Leogang and finished second.
Wow.
So that was like the start of my e-bike career. I mean, so I'm working 70% as a junior national coach, mountain bike, and so I don't have that much time for my own training, or basically the last months they were really busy, so I didn't have time at all. I was just riding with them, training them, but it was not training for myself.
The first time you raced an electric bike, what did you think about the first races you did?
Well, the first race I did, it was just, I didn't have the experience how to handle the bike in the uphill, because I didn't understand that I have to work, that the engine has to work and not only my legs. So I pushed like too hard or too aggressive.
Okay.
And yeah, once I learned the handling of the bike, it was better. And then, I mean, World Champs Leogang was my first race, and it was maybe the craziest race I've ever done. Maybe I've seen some pictures, because it was super muddy and
Yeah.
it was so slippery. We had no traction in the uphills, so it was it was really crazy. But I loved it, and I think the handling of the bike was still important for the descents.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's why I did well.
So if you had a blank piece of paper, what would you like to see happen?
Like more technical uphills.
Okay.
I would also like to have maybe longer races that you have to be careful, or you have to handle the battery. Like, then maybe sometimes you can't be all the time in boost, because then the battery is down faster. But that could be very interesting. So maybe double the time for the races. Or what I also would like to see is a separate start for the girls.
Do you think that causes a little bit too much traffic and
Yeah,
too much,
exactly. Yeah,
and
exactly.
too much?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay, but it's not. If there would be 50 or even 60 boys, and then the girls also in the same field, it would be like war, or I don't know. But I mean,
it gets quite aggressive.
I mean,
no?
everyone here is quite chilled, and it's not like super focused, everyone, but still,
It
I
could
think
be worse.
Yeah.
What do you think about other racers who you've been racing with in the past, looking at the sport of electric mountain bike racing? What do you think they will be thinking? And will they be talking to you and finding out your experience, and then they try themselves?
I know a few riders, they always said, yeah, e-bikes. And then once they try it by themselves, they know, wow, it's actually fun, and you can go fast, and you can also use it as a training for cross country. I mean, if you train on an e-bike in the trails, you are so much faster through technical sections, and you have to react faster, and it's really good training. I think a lot of cross country racers could use it more. Yeah, but I think in the future we will see some more famous cross country rider also doing e-bike races.
So you see the sport growing?
Yeah, for sure.